Hey, so amazing. You see how they playing? Live wire, it's all about sports and entertainment. You don't wanna miss it, so official like you never seen. Keep it going till the whistle blowing from the referee. Everything from highlights and stats. You know that we gotta run it back, whether on the field or the court. You know that this is where it's at. Subscribe, no delaying. This is Live Wire, sports and entertainment. Let's go.
All right, what's good, everyone? Welcome to another Live Wire Sports Media Update. All right, so we're dropping some jewels for you today. Seems like there was an update with Kelsey Mitchell's situation pending free agency. Now we know Kelsey Mitchell will be an unrestricted free agent this after the season, but details has come out per the Indy Star with Chloe Peterson. And she stated that in the Indy Star that Kelsey Mitchell and the Indiana Fever general manager Lynn Dunn she's making Kelsey Mitchell a priority, this off season. But with the WNBA expansion draft with the Golden State Valkyries, in December, it could throw a wrench in everything because there are a slew of free agents that are slated to be on that list, like a Breonna Stewart, Satu Sabali, so forth, Kelsey Plum, so forth and so on. But I didn't know that, like the NFL, the WNBA has a core, it's like franchise tag, a core tag, that they could core tag that player, where they could get that player to play for them for 1 year, and I think it's just a little bit above Kelsey Mitchell's current salary. But if that doesn't stop the expansion draft for picking these core players either, so these core players can still get picked, even if they get core. So it makes more sense of signing Mitchell, not waiting till after the season. It makes more sense signing her in season or close to, especially the Indiana Fever do have probably 10 games, 12 games left now. They have 14. They played 2 already, have 12 games left. The longer you wait, and we've seen this in the NFL, the longer you wait to prioritize a player, it makes it a little bit more difficult. Especially now, the one thing that the Indiana Fever do have in their pocket is expiring contracts of Erica Wheeler. Erica Wheeler is giving up just about as much as what Kelsey making. So you could bring Kelsey in back for a higher amount, probably a 3-year extension, to keep her there until you find a replacement in years to come. Because you think about it, Kelsey Mitchell right now, I think she's 28, 29. If you bring her in for a 3-year extension, that'll put her around about 30? She'd be 33 years old at that time. And then you could literally have a young replacement. By that time, 3 years, Caitlin's only 22 right now. She'd be 25. She'd still be young. So you could bring another young person in with the same skill set or more dynamic defender to play along Caitlin. And it's going to take used to, by that time they could bring somebody in like you could bring a Billings in, you could whoever you want to bring in. But you do not want to wait and mess around and allow Kelsey Mitchell to get plucked by somebody like Golden State. Now, for Kelsey Mitchell's standpoint, do she want to get cored? I mean, not cored, but do she want to get plucked by a franchise that's starting out? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, say that I don't think Breonna Stewart is going to leave New York because they're making a deep playoff run, and if they win the championship, that's different. Now you got to think Nneka McKay She's a free agent over there with Golden State. And you got to think about this too. Gabby Williams just signed with Seattle Storm. You know what I'm saying? She's only with them to the end of the season. Golden State could pick her. You know what I'm saying? Golden State could pick you on they only could pick one. So who they gonna pick? They could bring in Gabby as a free agent, signing or whatever the case may be. But I think they will pick Gabby over Emeka Umake if they had to do that. Then you got to think about this. New York Liberty is going to resign. They're going to resign Stewie. They're not letting her go. Now, Bethina, I think, Bethina, Lainey Hamilton, I think she's a free agent as well. So she could get court. She could get plucked. You know what I'm saying? She could get plucked by Golden State as well. So there's a lot of teams that could get a lot of their good players plucked. If Lynn Dunn is advocate of signing Kelsey Mitchell, then guess what? Your job is to make sure Kelsey Mitchell don't leave. You know, like I said, you don't want to wait. You don't want to wait till the end of the season to try to sign her, because by the time December roll around, guess what's going to happen? Because, say for instance, you're still going to have time really, because the season ends in September, October, November. All right, you still got 3 months. The playoffs will be over. Say Indiana doesn't go to the finals. Say Indiana gets knocked out way before then. You know what I'm saying? Then, okay, then you could go ahead to the table and say, you know what, hey, Kelsey, this is the deal. Sign her, because if you wait to December 15th, then Kelsey Mitchell, because technically Kelsey Mitchell won't have a choice. Now, if she wait past and she doesn't get plucked by them and she goes into free agency, and then you think about it, then she could go to any team she wants to. But like I said, Lynn Dunn, they don't have time to waste. If they really want Kelsey Mitchell back, they're gonna have to throw the bag at her. They're gonna have to give her what she wants and make sure she stays. And me personally, I would keep her at least 4 years. That, because you can still build that team. Timmy, they could bring Timmy back on a lower salary and Timmy wants to stay, but I don't think Timmy coming back. I think she said she wants to play overseas next year. So that's a space. Then, even if, say for instance, even if Golden State doesn't go for Gabby, that's a person Indiana could go for. They could go after. You got to think about this. Kalia Copper could get picked too. You know what I'm saying? And then you got Sophie Cunningham. She most likely resigns with Phoenix. She's a free agent. She loves it out there. But it all depends. So, like I said, Lynn Dunn, you really on the clock. You are really on the clock, and you don't even have time to waste to get this Kelsey Mitchell thing taken care of. Because if you allow her to go into free agency or she get picked by Golden State, then you're going to be scrambling around to find a replacement. And right now, you don't have that luxury to look for a replacement for Kelsey Mitchell at this time. Now, in other news, Sue Bird, who's been a huge, huge fan of Caitlin Clark, came out on a podcast today stating that Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever are a team that you do not want to play in the finals. Not in the finals, but in the playoffs. You don't want to play them because the way they're playing right now, they're on the road, and especially if Indiana goes into Minnesota and beats Minnesota again this weekend, that's 3 playoff teams they have beaten. They are becoming very dangerous. And plus, they have Timmy Van Benley back. That's going to add more to them. And this is probably why Lynn Dunn hasn't made a move for anybody yet. You know, I still say they, after the 7-day contract with Odyssey Sims over there in LA, I will still cut either Graceberg or Ventura Saxon and bring Billings, bring Odyssey Sims in, cause then she could take minutes away from Wheeler, especially if Wheeler is not gonna be on this roster next year. You know what I'm saying? You bring in somebody for the rest of the season that can help out with more bench scoring, especially with Tammy, Dantes, and Lexi Hall. You add more scoring to the bench and defense. You know what I'm saying? Especially in the guard play. Especially you could switch out Odyssey Sims with Kelsey Mitchell, give Kelsey Mitchell some rest. So my thing is that but Sue Bird made it known. She made it known what her thoughts is about the Fever, what the Indiana Fever look like, what Caitlin Clark has been doing. Between her, Rebecca Lobo, they have been advocating a lot for Caitlin, and they recognize Caitlin's game like some other people we know. Well, I'm gonna let you listen to what Sue Bird had to say.
And that's where you brought up the Fever. I think what I've learned in my WNBA experience is pace of play trumps physicality, it trumps size, it can trump experience, because a lot of times when you're experienced, it's really like code word for your veteran, which is code word for your old.
Slow the pace.
Yeah. So I feel like
I know that's why you guys were so good for those
in
years.
2018 and 2020, the years we won, that was our whole mantra, was pace, 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 pace. And what I see in Caitlin, what I see in Kelsey Mitchell, they're just like ramming it down people's throats, and it's really hard. It can have your head spinning. So yeah, as I mentioned, Kelsey Mitchell's balling, Caitlin continuing to impress, and she's going to break records nonstop for the next couple of years. Yeah. It's just going to be a constant record break.
Yeah,
the only thing that I find most interesting is at the start of the season, everybody had their panties in a twist over Caitlin getting picked up full court and Caitlin being denied, and I think what I'm not surprised by is naturally during a WNBA season, teams and players, you start to get a little tired. You're kind of in like the doldrums of the every day or every other day is a game. And it's hard to keep that discipline to guard a player like that. So I'm not surprised it dropped off. But what do you know? She's no longer getting picked up full court in the ways that we like teased Ari McDonald for when she did it after a free throw when she still had another free throw. But what you're seeing is Caitlin now is able to push the ball up the floor. She's able to hit those get-ahead passes.
Yeah.
And so I won't be surprised if as the season gets later into like playoff runs, if you start to see teams do more, and you're definitely going to see it in the playoffs.
Yeah.
But everybody, that's why you had to pick Caitlin up full court. Yeah. This is why. The numbers she's putting up now, like, this
Y'all
is
stopped
why.
And now she broke the record.
Yeah, everyone was like mad about it. I was like, I don't get it. That would be like, I don't even know what it would be like. It'd be like letting Kevin Durant shoot pull-ups all day. It's like, no.
Can't do it, y'all.
Yeah, I just, yeah.
She's also like figuring it out and settling in.
She's definitely figuring it out.
Got a little rest.
Oh, another thing, by the way, I never thought Caitlin wasn't strong. That was actually something I noticed in college. Like, she had a strength about her. Will she get stronger, and will that help her? Yeah. I think it was more just getting used to the hits and the physicality and like what refs are going to call, what they're not going to call. And you've seen her adjust in that way too. Like, she got blocked pretty bad by Ezzy, took a little bit of a splat. And like, yeah, I'm sure she was a little pissed, but she kind of got up, took the lick, and got back.
Yeah.
Whereas earlier in the season, I think it would have impacted her a little bit more. So
just get used to
she's definitely getting used to it, which is, trouble for everybody else. That's why I don't want to see her. I don't want to see Phoenix. Yeah. Kalia Copper is ballin'.
Now, you heard what Sue Bird had to say on that tape. And was the main thing that I took from it was the beginning of what she said. Pace of play trumps physicality. It trumps length, size. Because when you push in the pace, this is why Caitlin was so successful in college. because um, pace of play, her gravity, the way she pulls everybody. If you look at it, and you're starting to understand why Chrissy's size continues to now let Caitlyn do the things that she do now more so than she did in the beginning, because Caitlyn's pace of play wears teams out. Sometimes it takes a toll on them too because they pacing so fast. But you look at it, when they start out fast and they run it, especially if you go back and watch that Seattle Storm game, how the game was so slow paced it. And then once Caitlyn don't start finding a rhythm, they took off. And guess what happened? They wore Seattle down. Because guess what? A lot of these veterans are old. They can't run like that. They want to go half court set, walk the ball up, and all of that. There are only a few players in there that can really do pace of play like that. But they all scattered out on teams. They're not all on the same team. Like I heard a commentator say that, the Seattle Storm like to run. No, they don't. Because when you're running against a team that runs faster, has younger legs, how you gonna run against them? You know what I'm saying? Caitlyn, Tammy Finbenley, Aaliyah Boston, Kelsey Mitchell, Lexi Hall, Erica Wheeler, they all can run the floor. That wears you out because their legs is younger and they more conditioned to run that pace. You look at the Seattle Storm, they couldn't do that. They want to run half court, pull up. They don't want to run up and down the court. So what they do is try to use their physicality. And this is why they keep saying in the league is like, the league is so physical because y'all don't like to run up and down the court. Now you got a team that runs the court, and is going to continue to wear teams down. You look at a lot of teams in a W right now, they don't like to run. I think, and to me, I think the Chicago Sky is probably one of the slowest teams in the league right now. None of these teams like to run, and Indiana has the advantage of all of them. You look at Minnesota. They don't like to run, but they're a good 3-point shooter. But if you run them, that takes them out of rhythm completely. So that was a great analysis by Sue Bird, because they say, her team, when she was with the Seattle Storm, that's what they did. Ran up and down the floor. You know what I'm saying? That's why you look at Brittany Griner when they played Phoenix, they was able to beat Phoenix so much because they can't run up and down the court. They can't run up down. Diana Taurasi, 42 plus years old. She ain't about to run up the court like that. You know what I'm saying? Look at the Vegas Aces. They don't run up and down the court like that. You think Chelsea Gray gonna keep pace with a Caitlin Clark? Hell no. So, but again, get down in the comments. Let me know what you think about Kelsey Mitchell's situation and what Sue Bird had to say. Until then, keep on subscribing to the channel. Hit that like button anytime I drop a hardcore video. And like I always say at the end of my video, you know what it is. Livewire Sports.
Hey, so amazing. You see how they playing? Livewire, it's all about sports and entertainment. You don't want to miss it, so official like you never seen. Keep it going till the whistle blowing from the referee. Everything from highlights and stats. You know that we gotta run it back, whether on the field or the court. You know that this is where it's at. Subscribe, no delaying. This is Livewire, sports and entertainment. Let's go.